I'm going to, of course, talk about your journey and how inspiring it's been. But I also want to talk about certain things which are going on in the country today, which has people worried whether India is going to face a lot of setback as a result of Trump's legislations. And how are we going to cope with it? Is it going to impact on the India story? Because for the past couple of years, we've been told that India's on this upward trajectory, and the future generations are going to see a developed India. But then here comes the American administration slapping tariffs on us, literally sanctioning us in a softer manner, not saying sanctions, but in effect, it becomes sanctions. And then the H-1B decision, the row that has happened. So there's all this talk that what happens if Indian talent cannot go and certain areas become no-go, especially America becomes no-go. What is the hope that Indians have then? How is one to cope with this? Lots of questions in one question.
It's my privilege. I'm very happy to meet you and do this podcast. So it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining and being together. Your point is so well taken. We took America for granted. We take the world for granted. We treat the status quo as granted. We do believe that status quo of the world, which happened since World War II, is not going to change. Number two, that the bipolar situation which was existing in the world would continue forever. Both of these have changed completely. The new administration has made it very clear that you may be my friend, you may be my enemy, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as the trade is not in their favor at this point of time, they are not going to be with you. So I think America has made it very, very clear as to what they want. But look at the other side. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, has said very clear that we want Atmanirbhar Bharat. He's talking about a Viksit Bharat. He's fixed a deadline for that too. And he said 2030, 2047, ABC is going to be achieved. I think what the Trump administration has done is going to speed India to that direction. Not by choice of doing it faster, but because we are converting a challenge into an opportunity.
Sure, adversity.
Adversity. So if you can't export to America, let's look at an alternative base in order to do so. Of course, products may be different, opportunities will be different, but why not look at the whole world? Number two, I think what is going to happen is that the Indian mindset, which was working on a services business all the time, serve America, serve the rest of the world, not create the products of the world. So not create the Apple, not create the Microsoft, not create those. We were hesitant. We weren't confident to do so. Today, I think there is an opportunity where beyond services, India will now create those products. China is also doing it. Similar way, looking at the chips, looking at the AI, looking at the products manufacturing, doing it. Look at the last week's statement. We are not buying aeroplanes from America. We are ordering with HAL. About a couple of months ago, people were diffident. HAL has not delivered. Do we give it to HAL or not? Now the decision is clear. We have to become Atmanirbhar. We have to do whatever it is. And a deadline is given for these aeroplanes to be delivered to the Air Force. I think great challenges, of course, pain when you make change. Any change is painful. हमारे जिंदगी में भी कोई चेंज करने की जरूरत पड़ती है तो थोड़ा हिचकिचाहट होती है. लेकिन I think it's good for the country and it's good for India to actually do it, and you have a strong leader capable of doing it.
Okay, but do you think we'll be able to withstand this tariff regime? In the sense that, look, let's just say one or two sectors, if we were to look at the IT sector, whether we can take it with the H1B, whether we can take the gems and jewelry tariffs, whether our textile industry will be able to cope, the tanneries are shutting down, people have been told to go on leave. So these are hardships which I understand that the powerful players feel that this is adversity, challenges, and we'll rise to it. But there are the small men and women at the workforce level who will have to relocate from America, thousands of people. What happens to that?
Painful.
Yeah.
Very painful. All change is painful. 1991, there was much more pain than what is happening today. In 1991, all our industry was protected.
Yeah.
The ambassador car and the Fiat car was protected. Every item manufactured in India was protected. We had total protection. But we were zero net worth. We had no money in our reserve bank. We opened up. We became stronger. We took the challenges. Everything has changed. That change was 100 times bigger than the challenge that we have today. Today we have the resources, we have the capabilities, and now the mindset to do it. Earlier, we would have bent on our knees and gone down to the floor begging of that, humko sambhal lo, and the situation. Today, why do you think we have the strength to stand up?
Reserves.
A, you have the reserves. B, even though you have to go through the pain, we know that we will be able to handle it, provided the change mindset takes place in industry, in business and others. But of course, what you said is true. Many of the smaller players who are relying on this aspect of it are going to see that problem in the short run, not in the long run.
Okay.
The demographics of India are too big. We have to cater to the Indian situation, copy what China has done by creating exports, but also to see that the demographics of the country also increases the situation to do it. The planes, the rockets, what are we not making? 35 kilometers of national highway per day. It is as much as what China did in its heyday of doing roads and other things. I have, Smita, I agree with you. Pain is going to be there in the short run. But if this pain is there, it's like an injection or an operation to make you healthy again.
You sit on various boards, chambers of commerce, and do industry leaders like you, all of them say they have the same optimistic view about the India story?
Yes and no. Somebody who's immediately affected is crying, obviously. And their industry, an export for iron and steel, which is taking place. Or your clothes are going to be exported to the United States, and you have stocks and orders in hand, and you have commitments there to do. You're exporting medicines to that country, and you have a huge commitment to do, and your entire production and productivity is based on those things. Of course they are crying. And rightfully so. I mean, I would cry if I was in that position too. And we do hear that across the board.
But nobody wants to buckle under the pressure that is coming in. They want to fight back.
Nobody believes that in the long run we are not going to be winners. Everybody is very confident that we will be winners in the long run, in the short run. Yes, there's going to be problems. Yes, we may have a little problem even in our currency issue. Currency may drop to some extent, but I think I'm confident.
Okay. Your peers in those years when you got into business, many of them went abroad chasing better opportunities. You decided to stay on in India. Why did you take that decision? What motivated you to make it out here?
Two of the people in my own family went abroad. So there was no question about that part of it. And I still wanted to be here. I do believe in India totally. I'm just passionate about it. There was a lot of work which I do and I did in the not-for-profit for India, educational institutions, hospitals, etc. And my attachment to both the business part of it as well as the philanthropy, not-for-profit, as we say, is so much that I don't believe that I would get the satisfaction of really going and settling abroad, simply because there is a totality of life which I enjoy tremendously over here. So I wouldn't go even if I made 1/3 the money that I make today. Irrelevant. But what you're saying is right, that a lot of people who went at that point of time are coming back today. Lot of them. Lot of them have intent, may not shift today, but certainly getting into the investment mode to do it. Buying homes from me, who have settled abroad for a long period of time, wanting to say, Niranjan, tell me, where should I buy my house? Where do we settle? Where can we do investments today in India? This is what I've done for so many years. Do you think a similar opportunity exists for us in India? I hear it all the time. So I think, in a way, a large number of them are attached to the motherland. Yes, the economic prosperity of the Western world was great. Look at the number of people who have left the UK in the last 6 months. It's unbelievable. So many of them, of course, have gone to Dubai too.
Yeah.
And people have shifted to different parts of the world. But the fact that the Western world is not the world anymore is very clear. So the opportunities exist there, but India is also a land of great opportunity and satisfaction.
According to a recent report Kotak Bank had put out, 1 in 5 of the high net worth individuals is either in the process of migrating abroad or has plans to do so. This, I don't know how they come to know about the plans to do so, but they put out. There's a book by Sanjay Baru who had interviewed, and he said that, and he also cites that 23,000 millionaires have left the country in the last decade. So while we are seeing, we are 1.4 billion, so if 23, but it's the quality of people going abroad which is worrying for some people. They say that when these are the wealth creators of our country, if they leave, that means they are not believing in this story, the India story. How do you see it?
2 parts. Wealth creators all the world over move to areas where are tax haven. So not a surprise for me. What actually worried me more was not that. My worry was that the technocrats, the people who were doctors, engineers, all those people who are now CEOs of multinationals world over, we need to have more of them remaining in India. Fortunately, we have a big demographics. So we are not worried about 20,000 or 25,000 going overseas. So I'm not even worried about those 25,000 wanting to leave India every year. It's not a big number at all. And I don't think that's a worry. They may be wealth creators, but they still make money in India. 90% of those 25,000 who will go there will invest and put money in India. They may live in Dubai to get a quality of life. That's okay. There's
Your
nothing.
son lives in Dubai.
My son lives on the 90th floor of the best residential tower in the world in Dubai. So
he can't convince you to come and live with him there, right?
No, I'm trying to convince my grandchildren to come back. It's the other way around.
Okay.
So, and I think...
and your daughter also lives abroad?
My daughter lives in London and my grandchildren study in the United States. So we are kind of an international family. Okay. But my roots are to India and I can't change that, unfortunately.
You've never lived anywhere other than in India?
No.
No,
not at all. And never thought about it either.
And you're not a second generation business.
No.
No, you're not.
My father was a doctor.
ENT surgeon.
ENT surgeon, head and neck surgeon, cancer surgeon, Padma Bhushan, Dhanvantri Award winner, probably one of the finest surgeons of his time in those days. And taught me how to do philanthropy and got me...
a teacher. How did that happen?
Well,
was there no pressure from your dad? Doctor bano ya engineer bano? Come on. Everybody did that, right?
Well, I was pretty scared of my father and my elder brother both being doctors and they worked too hard. So when I was young and my elder brother was 10 years older to me, I was petrified. How can I work so hard like my father is working and my elder brother is working? So I think that scared the life out of me, not realizing that I would be probably working as hard as they did once I grew up and qualified. And after I finished my BCom, which I did, I was persuaded by my father and Mr. Nani Palkhiwala to do CA. So I also did that. And while I was doing that, I was persuaded to teach in the Institute of Chartered Accountants as a Stepney teacher. And I still teach. I still teach till today.
Education is very important to you, right?
I love it. I love the connection with students. And this month, 30 days, I must have lectured at least 4 colleges and schools. So it's part of me.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.